Jose Camacho, friend of Smith Cove, Rock the Block. I understand from the young lady that the Quincy Square award of $300,000 of HUD CDBG funds was not actually used. And I will take her word for it. That's not really the point. The point is, why is a very wealthy, powerful, influential developer, a cartel consortium, whatever you want to call them, which has a council member up here getting paid by a revenue stream? So why would someone that powerful have to even consider CDBG funds that's intended for the needy? My experience with HUD is lead-based poisoning in low-income homes or apartments. I used to be the guy who had to convince my fat cat wealthy attorney boss to help out tenants. And the reason we could help them was because the HUD regulations were so exacting and thoughtful. Absolutely, HUD and certainly CDBG funds are for the needy. They're not for some multimillionaire. They're not for someone who has a council and planning commission in his pocket. The 4th Street Action Fund snatched that money. That they didn't use it was an accident. The reason they didn't use it was because the African American community was pissed off that the 4th Street Action Group did not take them into consideration in foisting the Quincy Square as some fake affordable housing project. It was never that. They invoke the needy, they invoke affordable housing, they don't actually care about that. It's just commercial propaganda. They invoke the needy to look good and then get funding. And they don't deserve that funding when we have people dying on the street, when we have people who have to go and they're going to get arrested because they can't go because there are no public toilets. CDBG funds have been used for public toilets across the country. So it is ideal. It is worth changing this policy to help these people who have been begging you for like a decade. If you go to the hearing video recordings, 2018, May and June, you will see two things happening at the same time. Homeless people begging you for help and the award of CDBG funds to the 4th Street Action Group, who absurdly call themselves a grassroots coalition. DCD and the CDBG staff person were part or are part of the 4th Street Action Group. That is incestuous. That is a rig. These millionaires don't need help. They don't need insider connections. They'll survive. We are not going to survive. They will, regardless of what happens.
Thank you, Mr. Camacho. Before we get to the next speakers, I will remind the public that unlike public recognition, if you stray from, and in this case, it's the resolution 3398 adopting the consolidated plan funding priorities for 2026 to 2030 and the 2026 CDBG home policy plan, I can call and say, that's not germane. So if you want to make public attacks for something in 2019, I may have to refer to my counsel here, but unlike public recognition, this is supposed to be city business, and your comments should be germane to the topic.
Do you have him speak into the microphone too? Because I don't know how much of that was actually caught.
Thank you, and just a reminder to go ahead and please speak into the microphone. Having said that, I tend to give great latitude to speakers, as long as you can get there, but please try to stay germane to the topic. With that, go ahead, please.
My name is Robin Weldon, and considering that all of this is still going on as far as your favoritism to developers and you know, I do believe it's germane to the topic what Jose Camacho brought up. In the CBDG funding, you should be including the homeless advocates that are actually out there on the street. You should be including public toilets. And I'm sorry if I don't know what various numbers or ordinances that you have, but this needs to be discussed, and we don't have a chance to discuss it because we don't have much chance to even talk as the public. So I incorporate and adopt and 100% agree with everything. It's all fact. You can go to Friends of Smith Cove at Evergreen Park YouTube channel and see all of the evidence trail of city corruption and developer favoritism to Sound West Group, specifically Wesley Arthur Larson III, and Quincy Square, which is his thing. You know, it's the inside crowd's thing. So it's all germane.